Today is the fourth and final video where I'm showing you the big haul of vintage home decors that I got in an auction. Parts 1, 2 and 3 will be linked up here, so feel free to go watch those first or check them out after you've been here. If you saw my last video, I'm going to try really hard not to drop anything. So we'll dive right in. First up is this guy. So he's like a bull or a cow. And he's marked D Sharp Rye. So there was the duck. If you go back to, I think it's video 1, there was a David Sharp Rye pottery duck. And I think that's his friend. Cool. I can't find any solds of him, but they do seem to be listed around the £110 mark, and there's not a great deal available. So that's a good find. Be on the lookout for David Sharp pottery bulls if you're out and about. And then we have this mirror, Laura Ashley Home. So it's got this sort of floral leaf etching underneath this second layer of mirror or glass. And then it's got Laura Ashley Home sticker on the bottom. Don't drop. Had a quick look and I can't find this particular Laura Ashley mirror, but it's in good condition, no chips, no cracks, nothing like that. So I reckon probably £20 to £25 on that. I'll do some more research before I list it, but sort of initially that's what I think for that. Then there's this beautiful decanter that's crystal. Got this cut glass design, and this makes me think of a lemon squeezer. So we know how I am with lids, so I'll put that down, and I can't see any sort of etching maker's mark on there. No chips or cracks, which is lovely. Yeah, so that's a really lovely lemon squeezer decanter. I definitely need to do some more research on this decanter. As you would have seen from that quick Google image search, there's one listed for £395 on an antique website, but then there's one also listed on Etsy for £42, which says it's Marks and Spencer's. So yeah, I'll have to do some image comparisons and yeah, a bit more in-depth research into that one. But if it's the same one as what's on the antique website, then it's from around the 1960s. But yeah, it is really pretty. Definitely no maker's mark on it. And then this bowl. The orange iridescent glass, which is really pretty. I like that. Again, no maker's mark that I can see. A few small hairline chips or flea bites, is that what they're called? This reminds me of Fenton glass. I don't think it is, but really pretty. this appears to be made by someone or a company called Duggan or Duggan. It seems to be the ones that are listed are in America and they're sort of around the $30 mark. But yeah, so it's a Duggan Carnival glass compote dish. It's got that really pretty floral detail inside with the pedestal base. And then there's these. So 2 cups. That one's got a clear base and that one hasn't. I would guess that this is horn. Yeah, it looks very much like horn. Interesting. What's that? Like a glass and a shot glass, maybe? So it would appear that these are made of horn. And I probably list the 2 together for £20 and see if there's any interest at that level. See, that one's got the clear base and then that one hasn't, but it's got this sort of impressed circle in it. Interesting. And then this big guy, big blue vase. That's that gorgeous deep cobalt blue. Seems to be quite a lot of crazing on the inside part. No marks or anything on the base. That's real chunker. I've not been able to find out a great deal about this vase, or anything for that matter, which is, I guess, not surprising. There's no distinctive marks or anything like that. So it's just a nice cobalt blue ceramic vase, very weighty, lovely colour. So there's that crazing on the inside and crazing on the outside, but because of the dark blue you can't really see it. And then this lovely lady. So it's this glass lady with a long dress on the stand. No marks. I've seen other glass pieces with this type of base, but the name of the maker escapes me. I think it's some sort of Czechoslovakia glass. I could be completely wrong, but I think I've seen animals. Yeah, no, I can't remember the name, but I'm sure once I Google lenses it'll pop up. Right, so this is Royal Crystal Rock, RCR. And this particular figurine seems to be known as Deco Lady. I guess because of that Art Deco style. But she seems to be selling for around the £10 to £15 mark. So not a great deal of money to be made in her, but still pretty nonetheless. And there's this little preserve jar. Crystal as well. And that's got that lovely cut glass as well. And that little lid. Okay, that has got an etching, and that is, well, that's really difficult to read. Waterford. So that's Waterford crystal, but that's lovely. Again, no chips or cracks or anything like that, so that's great. the prices on this Waterford honey jar, that's so not preserved honey jar, seem to be all over the place. I mean, there's one listed for £175, but then there's some at sort of £30, £40. They seem to be selling a wide range, so some at £9, some at 30, some at 40, some at 60. So I'm not quite sure why there's such a big fluctuation. I'm going to need to do a little bit more research again, I think, to understand why there's such a big difference between the different listings. This very pretty little vase, hand blown, with these white stripes down the side and these very intricately done sort of interlacing white strips. That's very pretty. This is another one that I'm going to need to do some more research on. There's some coming up which appear to be Murano and some that are not. And see, this fine sort of lattice is what they call it, detail there. So I haven't seen any in quite this shape. There's rounded ones, but not with that point. And you can see it's hand blown where it's been broken off on the pontil there. So yeah, I'll do a bit more digging on him. Then there's this guy. I'm not sure what he's made of, resin possibly. Yeah, interesting. I think this must have come in a lot with some other bits. No sort of marks or anything to the base. This appears to be what's known as a medicine Buddha. So I believe he is made out of resin, if you have a look at the base. I'll need to do a little bit more research before I list him, but I don't imagine it's much more than sort of £10, £15. But yeah, such beautiful detail on it. All the little carving. And then there's these three little vases. I don't think they're a set, but they're quite similar to each other. These glass with gold gilding. So we'll put those two down. I think that's probably safest. There's that one, which is this blue with beautiful hand-painted florals with some raised detailing and the gold gilding. Yeah, really lovely detail on that. This one is purple with these red stones. I think they're just plastic. And again, the gold gilding detail. And this one, which is sort of an amber glass with the hand-painted floral detail there. So those are quite pretty. It appears that this little blue vase is Bohemian glass, possibly by a maker called Mosa. And then these two vases would appear to be Murano. So you can see there's lots of gold gilting detail. But yeah, they are really pretty, sort of colourful set. There's this, imagine, pewter mug, which says half pint. And then I'm guessing it's someone's name engraved. That looks really old. It's got some markings here. It says WS3 with what looks like a crown. And I can't make that out. Just grab the sloop. I think that says something Sussex. I'll pop some pictures in here, and if any of you know, then please do let me know. Interesting. So there's the markings there, and then it's got this engraving here, which I think must be someone's name, as well as the half pint. And then VRINE. Oh, I've made myself blind with that little light now. This appears to be a possibly Georgian half pint pewter mug. So I just need to do some research on the maker's marks that are on there and see who made that. It's a bit dinged up, as you can see there. It's been bashed in there, and also at the top it's had a hard life. It's definitely seen a few pubs in its time. So yeah, that's really cool. Then there's this great big, what's that, coffee pot, I imagine? It's missing its lid. That doesn't seem complete, so I think there's the finial missing off of that. There appears to be something missing from here on the handle as well. I imagine it would have been the same as whatever that material is, Bakelite maybe. It's marked on the bottom, Sheffield Electro plate, EPBM 1207. So that's a silver plated pot then. Be good to see what that looks like once it's polished up. There's a few dings in it and dents, but that might look quite pretty once it's polished up. This looks like it's an antique silver-plated pitcher from sort of the 19th, 20th century. I'm going to need to do a bit more investigation. But yeah, that's really lovely with all its sort of intricate detail there. And it is a little bashed up and missing a few bits. And at the bottom there, there's these dings. But really lovely nonetheless. And then there's these two, which must be the pot and the creamer maybe, or tea and coffee. And those look like they've got black ebony handles. That one's missing its finial, so it should have that. No markings on the base. Again, I imagine that's silver plated. It's got that silver plated look. No, can't see anything on that one either. We'll have to see what Google Lens says, or drop a comment below if you know. So depending on how these clean up, possibly £35 for the pair. It seems that individually they're listed around the £20 mark. But yeah, if I can get those nicely cleaned up. Oh, and bearing in mind that that finial is missing actually. So maybe a bit less. But they might be nice display items in a kitchen. Yeah, I think the plating's, quite a lot of the plating's worn off of this one. That one seems like it might polish up a bit better. But yeah, we'll get some brasso on that and see what we can do. Then there's this big glass something. Not sure what that is. It's got a cork in that end. And then it's just the glass on that side. That's unusual. What is it? So this piece, which had me flummoxed, is a glass rolling pin. And I think what's happened there is it's broken and someone's put a cork in there. But that is an antique, possibly Bristol glass rolling pin, and looks to be selling for around £7 to £10. But with that damage there, I don't have much hope for a massive profit on that one. Then there's this little dainty little tray with all that cut out detail. That's pretty. No markings or anything. It's not particularly heavy. Yeah, so that'd be lovely for some sandwiches at a tea party. Very pretty. Quick search, can't find this exact one, but it'd be a nice decorative piece just to put some fruit or some nuts or some potpourri on. Yeah, very pretty. And this silver tray which says happy anniversary. Just get back. No markings again. This happy anniversary tray, which I think may be silver plated, but probably around £20 for that once it's nicely cleaned up. And then this tray, no markings, but just some detail on there. This little silver tray, again, once polished up, probably £15. Not much more than that, I wouldn't have thought. And this lovely cake platter, that's beautiful. That's Royal Worcester fine bone china. It's got some really lovely floral detail and some gold gilding around the edges. And there's the Royal Worcester on the back. So yeah, that's really pretty. Perfect for like a summer tea, summer lunch. And then lastly, this beautiful Royal Worcester cake plate. There's one listed for just over £100. You can buy them on replacements.com for $120 US. And there's one sold for £68, but it came with its presentation box as well. So I don't know, probably about £50 for that one. It is beautiful. And finally, there's this little case here. So it's got this brass inlay on the top. And you just pop it open with this little latch. Oh, it's got this lovely purple velvet on the inside. There's that little catch there. It seems really nicely made. I'm not sure what that would be. No idea. Again, a horn maybe, or bone? I'm not sure. It is very pretty. So this little trinket box is camel bone, likely made in India. It's got that brass inlay and probably get around £20 for that. In really nice condition. Nice display piece. So that was the result. I managed to do all of that without dropping anything, without breaking anything. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Nothing disastrous happens from now. But thank you for watching. As I say, this is the final video in the antiques, in the auction haul. I hope you've enjoyed this little series. I think I've had my fill for auctions for now. What I found with all of these boxes to go through is that I don't go and see the items at the auction beforehand. I just go online, see what lots take my interest, and then bid on those. And I think I prefer the hunt of going to like a boot sale or a charity shop and finding specific individual items rather than getting a box of items and maybe only loving one or two pieces. I just don't find it as fulfilling, I think. It's nice to have a bulk lot of things to list, but it hasn't got that same thrill for me as going out and finding the pieces myself. So I think I'll lay off the auctions for a little while, and we're heading into boot sale season now, although Ford Boot runs all year round. So the weather's sunny. Long may it last. So yeah, I think I might start heading back to the boot sale. Once I've listed all of this lot and cleared my backlog, I'll allow myself to go to a boot sale. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.